working. Are we live? Are we live? Right, so welcome to the live stream. Excuse me, first time. Give me a break. So, just general ranting about gaming in general. A few bits of garbage to go over. Let's just see how long this one lasts. Firstly, let's talk about the elephant in the room. The PS5 Pro. So, it's coming and it's going to be 700 quid, $700. I think in euros it's closer to 8. I can't remember off the top of my head. But that's just for the disc version, the digital version. If you want the disc adding on to it, it's an extra 80 quid, 80 euros, $80. So you're looking at near enough 800 quid. For a PS5 Pro, that from the looks of it, the only good thing about it is it's got more memory and it's got more power. The graphics don't particularly look much different. In fact, they look that similar that the average gamer, the average console gamer who's not into all the frame rates, who just wants a game to play well, look good and have a good story, wouldn't be able to tell the difference. From all the videos I've seen of it from PlayStation themselves, they've put like PS5 version and then PS5 Pro version running next to each other. There's next to no difference. Like I said, the average casual gamer on a PS5 isn't going to notice the difference graphically to be paying that much extra for a PS5 Pro. I don't know what memory my PS5 come with. I genuinely can't remember. I didn't even look because I'm not bothered. If I need extra memory, I'll buy the memory card, the memory chip for it. Do you know what I mean? I don't have, I think mine's just a base memory one. I can't remember. Did they all come with different memories? I don't know. But I've got the 3 rebooted Tomb Raiders. Obviously, Red Dead Redemption 2, Jurassic World Evolution 2, and Tomb Raider Legacies, oh, and The Witcher 3. And I have no issues with memory. They're all downloaded from the disc, obviously, so you still need a disc to play them, because I prefer physical media. Who doesn't? So, it's already looking bad for this PS5 Pro. I mean, the PS5 in general has been nothing but, and you all know me by now, I'm not scared to share my opinions, no matter how they come out. I really don't care. So, as I'm saying, the PS5 has already been somewhat of a letdown, an absolute shit show. It has been the generation of remasters, and not even remasters that we want. Do you know what I mean? We got The Last of Us 2 remastered, didn't need it, did not need it in the slightest. You got a couple of extra modes with it, you got some extra bits in it that were on the off the cutting room floor. You know what I mean? Do you go to Butcher's and ask them, for the scraps that is cut off your meat on the floor. No, you don't. They're not there for a reason, because they were shit. And the PS5 Pro is going to be exactly the same. Although they're not calling them remasters, they're calling them PS5 Pro Enhanced. And I've actually got a list of the games, what they're enhancing for it. So, it's technically, they are remasters, but they're just calling them PS5 Pro Enhanced. So we've got Horizon Forbidden West, doesn't need it. Alan Awake 2, definitely doesn't need it. Final Fantasy 7, that's a bit. Gran Turismo 7, doesn't need a remake, doesn't need an enhancement. You're not, like I said, the average casual console gamer isn't going to be able to tell the difference visually between the PS5 and the PS5 Pro. It's that negligible, the difference in visuals. Hogwarts Legacy, why does that need enhancing? I didn't like it myself, it's not my thing, but why does it need enhancing? It looks good enough as it is. And like I said, again, no one's going to be able to tell the difference in the visuals. Marvel Spider-Man 2, need I say more? It doesn't need it. It's only just come out. And as literally to punch it in the face and say you're not getting no fucking new games, The Last of Us 2, The Last of Us Part 2, remastered, technically. Remastered, PS5 Pro Enhanced, whatever you want to call it. And me personally, I don't see a point in the PS5 Pro. The PS4 Pro, yeah, because the PS4 and the PS3 and the PS2, even the PS1, were consoles that had pure games. This, the PS5 generation, like I've said, has been like 65% remakes, and remakes that nobody needed. The Last of Us 2, all them other remakes that they made that nobody needed, because the visuals were still already okay, because they were on PS4, and they still looked okay on PS5. Do you know what I mean? The one game that most people wanted, who followed the likes of my channel and Phil over the Philbeast Gaming's channel, is Red Dead Redemption. Why did RDR1 not get a proper remaster? Do you know what I mean? If you're going to remaster games that actually were brilliant in the day on whatever console it was, and I'm talking like PS2s and 3s, and give them a proper remaster. Do you know what I mean? I'm talking Kane and Lynch, remaster it, but don't do what you did with Kane and Lynch 2, whatever it was called, where you just censored all the brutal, pointless, idiotic violence. Do you know what I mean? Just remaster games as they are, and don't do what they did with Kane and Lynch 2, and just censor all the meaningless violence. The Getaway Black Monday, my favourite game of all time has to be Need for Speed Most Wanted. That, as a remaster, would have been a lot better than the last Need for Speed we got, with all the anime, cartoon, skid clouds when you're doing drifts and stuff. Do you know what I mean? That was pointless. And my biggest beef with the PS5 Pro is, well, there's the price, obviously. I mean, we've all just paid, those of us who've managed to get them, we've all just paid like near enough, I think it was between 4 and 500 quid, unless you desperately wanted it and you paid some scalper scumbag for it, and then you were paying like 700 quid anyway. So, do you know what I mean? If you got one without going to a scalper, you paid between, I think it was like 440 or something on it, depending on what bundle you got with it, it was a little bit more. Do you know what I mean? But I've completely gone off track there. What I'm saying is, I've completely lost my train of thought. Normally, if I was making a normal video, I'd just stop, collect myself, and figure out where I was up to, and then start again, but I can't. What I'm saying is, it's got like 3, maybe 4 years left. Do you know what I mean? And what games has it actually got coming out that would make you go, oh, do you know what? I really, really, really need to pay £780 for a disc version of the PS5 Pro to have a bit more memory, a bit more power, and negligible graphical upgrades. Nothing. You're not going to be playing nothing. GTA 6 is going to look just as good on the PS5 as it will do on the PS5 Pro. That's how negligible the graphical changes are. It's not game changing. It's not like the PS4 Pro where it was actually a better console all round. This is just memory and power, and it's pointless. I do not see the point of the PS5 Pro, but I think the only reason they're actually still releasing it, even though the shit show that the gaming industry's in at the minute with the lack of games, is because they've already done all the R&D. They've already made it. Do you know what I mean? So they've got to. Do you know what I mean? And I don't think it'll sell very well. And then on top of that, there's a new PS5 coming out as well. Was it the 30th or 40th anniversary? I can't remember off the top of my head. And it's just the skins look, the plates on the side of it just look like a PS1. And the box it comes in is an homage to the PS1 box when the original PS1 come out. You know what I mean? Give it 6 months after that's released. Go on eBay, go on Amazon and just type in PS4 plates. People will make them as you want. They'll make them to just look exactly like the ones that they're trying to sell you for like 6, 7, 800 quid. Do you know what I mean? Same with the pads. Just buy the skins of the pads, throw them on, you sound. It's even coming with the wire that goes from your pad to the controller, and it's got where it goes into your PlayStation. It's got like an R block on it. It's still got the USB-C on the back, but it's got like a memory card block off the PS1, which does look cool. And I'd probably just buy that, and buy the plates completely separate. Do you know what I mean? And buy the new cover for the pad. Do you know what I mean? The skins for the pads will come out within weeks. It's guaranteed. You don't have to. They're not going to be official PS1s, but who gives a shit? At this point, they're not. They're just blatantly trying to rip people off. Do you know what I mean? They don't have to bring a brand new PS5 out just to sell plates. They could have just said it's the 40th anniversary. We're selling new pads for the PS1 looking pads. We're selling new plates for your PS5 that looks like a PS1, and you can get these cool wires. It's even actually selling PlayStation logo, like the triangle, square necks, little cable ties to tidy your wires up. I mean, come on. How long are they going to last? You're going to pay about 25, 30 quid or whatever it is in your country for a couple of cable ties with the PlayStation logos on. They're not going to last 5 minutes. Like I say, I just think the PS5 Pro is absolutely pointless at this point in time. It's unnecessary. Nobody needs it. Hang on, let me just send Arthur on his little merry ways. You can hear that clicking, can't you? It's annoying as fuck. There we go. Arthur's on his merry way. Gaming in general. What is the thoughts on gaming in general? Now, I think, as you know from my other videos, and you know me, I will not sugarcoat it. If I think something's going to be a shit show, I'll say it's going to be a shit show. I just don't care. I'm not getting paid by none of these companies to review shit. So when I review shit, it's off my own back. So I'll say exactly what I want. I think gaming's being destroyed by the DEI. I don't care what you think. That's my opinion, and I'm sticking by it. Concord, Ubisoft have now started attacking gamers, not just us gamers in the West, calling us all bigots and ists and phobes and whatever else, whatever buzzwords they want to throw in. But now they're attacking the Japanese gamers because they're saying, listen, Ubisoft, you're fucked up. Do you know what I mean? You've made a game that people have wanted for, what, since Assassin's Creed 1. They've wanted feudal Japan. And because you're quick to bend the knee, you stuck a 6 foot black man as a samurai in feudal Japan. This is not Japan. Whether he was or wasn't a samurai, I'm not getting into that debate. He wasn't. I'm just saying, he wasn't. But whether you think he was or he wasn't, it doesn't matter. The point is what most assassins, and I mean, there's the obvious Assassin's Creed fanboys and the ones who get paid, the ones who get early access and all that, the ones who are getting paid by Ubisoft to review the games and spread the word of the games, and they get the game early so everyone can see what they're going to be up to. Do you know what I mean? Obviously there's all them, and there's the pure fanboys who cannot see nothing Ubisoft does wrong as wrong. I mean, Star Wars Outlaws, when it first got announced, I was excited for it. This was the first announcement that they were making it. They hadn't put no details out or nothing. I was excited for it because it was Star Wars and it was going to be open world. I love an open world game. And then as the bits started leaking out, everyone rightly said, this is going to be a shit show. This is not going to sell very well. And it didn't. It sold less than Mirage. And you all know my views on Mirage. Mirage was an absolute clusterfuck. Should have been left as a DLC for Valhalla. I don't care whether you love Valhalla or hate Valhalla. Mirage should have been left as a 10-hour DLC for Valhalla. It's as simple as that. Ubisoft stocks have dropped 85, I think it's 84 or 85% in the past few years. The Ubisoft stocks are at a decade low. Ubisoft stocks have not been this low in a decade. That's how bad these games they're making are affecting the company. And I'm not one. I would not like to see any gaming company, no matter what ideologies they're pushing, I wouldn't want to see none of them go bust and everyone lose their job. But if it was going to happen, I personally hope it happens to Ubisoft or one of the big 10. Do you know what I mean? If it happens to the big ones, because they've gone woke and decided to insert identity politics into the games, then it's got to be one of the big ones. And then all the little ones and all the other big ones will soon think, oh, that could be us if we carry on. And they might change their tune. They might not, obviously. Do you know what I mean? Because Sweet Baby Inc. I've literally got them by the balls. Because we all know what Sweet Baby Inc. does. It's stop. If they don't push their agendas, then they stop them getting finance from the big banks. So, I don't know. It's catch-22. You don't want them. Sorry for that. You don't want them to go bust, but at the same time, you want one of them to go bust. So the rest of them start thinking, shit, if we don't start pleasing our customers aren't going to be paying us. Do you know what I mean? What does they say? My missus has worked in retail since fucking hell, God knows when. The customer's always right. Do you know what I mean? That's what the gaming companies have forgot. The customer is always right. And if you're not producing material that we want to play, if you're going against everything that we want to play, you're not going to sell games. Do you know what I mean? Right, that's my first page of notes. Before I get on to the second page, I put a post out earlier on today and told people to, oh yeah, Jake, sup dude, what's happening, Jake? Asked them to drop any questions they wanted to ask me in the comments on the post, and if my phone will just stop being a little pain in the ass. Why is my phone not working? Mobile data, turn the Wi-Fi off. There we go. Back to me. Oh, no. YouTube. Posts. So, I said drop your questions, anything you want to ask me. Keep it clean. Host Jake again. Favourite game of all time? Need for Speed Most Wanted. Or Red Dead Redemption. Sorry. That's it. Maybe Assassin's Creed Black Flag as well. I haven't really got one. Second part of the question. Best game of franchise? I don't particularly have a favourite game of franchise. I am a little bit of a gaming slut. I will play any game as long as it looks good and has a good story. Sorry if that didn't really answer your question, but that's what it is. I don't really have a favourite franchises. I have franchises that I no longer wish to play, like Mafia. I'm going to avoid anything coming out of the Mafia studio because Mafia 3 was a complete and utter disaster. It was shit, it was glitchy, nothing ever got fixed, and it never told the story that the fans wanted. The fans wanted the story continued from Mafia 2 to see where Vito and I can't remember the fat guy's name, but they wanted to see where they ended up, and you did see where they ended up, but you didn't get the conclusion you wanted from it. So yeah, I don't really have a favourite franchise. Like I said, I'm a little bit of a gaming slut. I'll play anything. But up until a few years ago, I would have said Assassin's Creed. I wouldn't even say up until Odyssey, or I'd say up until Valhalla. Valhalla was where it started going down for me. I mean, Odyssey and Origins, yeah, they weren't really Assassin's Creed games, but they were enjoyable still, whereas Valhalla, those people, everyone who likes Valhalla has a pure love-hate relationship with it. Do you know what I mean? You love it, but you hate it because you think, fuck me, I've got hundreds of hours left. I've only just restarted it, and you just can't be arsed then. I think Valhalla, I've done about 3 playthroughs on the PS5, and I did one on the PS4. So I think I'm well over 2,000 hours, well over it, on Valhalla. The only game I've ever put that much time and effort to was when I first got Jurassic World Evolution. I mean, the little fellow were playing it just non-stop for weeks, and we finished it and just restarted it just to play it again, and I'm like 1,500 hours in on that. Yeah, so sorry, I didn't really answer your question, but I don't really have a favourite game and franchise. I mean, if I had to say what one's best and what one hasn't gone to shit, it'd be Uncharted or Red Dead. Do you know what I mean? The reason I'm putting Red Dead on while I'm doing this live stream is purely because Red Dead Redemption 2 is the last game that I own that has not been destroyed and that still has a strong masculine white protagonist. Do you know what I mean? Because now it's, you can't have masculinity, it's bad, you can't, white man bad, everyone's got to be coloured, everyone's got to be gay. And now with, Dragon Age, you haven't just got pronouns, you can literally, and this is a game set in medieval times, you can literally, in the character selection screen, choose double mastectomy scars, top surgery scars, in medieval times. I mean, I know it's all magic and shit, but I'm pretty sure surgery wasn't that advanced back then. Nor did anyone give a shit about this stuff back then. Do you know what I mean? It's just, I haven't got Space Marine 2 yet. That's my next big one I want to play. And again, they've just gone like that. They've just literally given the middle finger to the woke mob and said, nah, we're not kowtowing to your bullshit. We're not doing it. Plain and simple. I only had one other question on that post. What the fuck is happening with gaming? I mean, this is me reading it. I mean, almost every game now has butt ugly women in them. I don't get it. That's because butt ugly women are making them. Have you seen the behind the scenes photos for Assassin's Creed Shadows? There's not one pretty woman in sight. They're all middle-aged white men, white women mainly, feminists. Do you know what I mean? Women can't write strong women characters. It's as simple as that. Tomb Raider, the original ones, written by men, written by pervy nerds. Do you know what I mean? And they smashed it out of the park, and then Crystal Dynamics get hold of it, and nothing from Crystal Dynamics has been a Tomb Raider game. They've completely changed all Lara's backstory because, believe it or not, Lara doesn't have daddy issues. Lara, why have I still got my phone in my hand? Lara wasn't chasing after her dad's things, what her dad was trying to figure out. Her mum and dad disowned her because she chose a life of adventure over an arranged marriage to some upper class toff. They disowned her. Her daddy never died and she never went chasing after all his secrets, what he was trying to find. Didn't happen. But now they've changed it. And they've changed it in the booklet on the remastered version as well. Go figure. Women write women and the women are shit. And they're all fuck ugly. While we're on Tomb Raider, the new Tomb Raider game, I'm not even going to talk about the new trailer that's come out for Netflix or the Amazon series, because the Netflix trailer is, and this is a word you're going to hear a lot from me, it's a clusterfuck. It's a shit show. Nothing looks like Lara. And I know you can change Lara, but you've still got to keep her looking sort of the same. You can't completely change it and say, right, this is it, this is Lara Croft now. Deal with it. Do you know what I mean? The proper Tomb Raider fans are my age. They're all in their 30s, 40s, 50s, and even 60s for some people. Do you know what I mean? We know what shit we like and what shit we don't, and this is just shit we don't like. Right, hang on, I just need to swig of my tea. Big Star Wars mug. Yeah, so they've completely changed Lara and they're going to carry on completely changing her. I personally think this next Tomb Raider game will be Crystal Dynamics' last shot at Tomb Raider. I don't think they are going to get another shot to destroy Tomb Raider again after this, if this doesn't sell well, which it probably won't. Because she's not a Tomb Raider no more. She's a truth seeker. So we no longer have Lara Croft. We now have a white, potentially lesbian, Meghan Markle of the video game world. She's a truth seeker. She's not a Tomb Raider. She doesn't steal artifacts like she did back in the day. She's gifted them now. Because that's why Lara did it. Lara didn't do it for the same reasons as Indiana Jones or any of the others. Do you know what I mean? She didn't plan on sending them to museums and shit. She went after artifacts for her own selfish reasons, because she wanted to, because she could. Do you know what I mean? None of this, again, it's going back to that from before. Lara didn't have daddy issues. She wasn't going chasing after her dad's last mission or not, none of that bullshit. She did it because she was a selfish, some might say sociopathic, badass woman, let's face it. And now they've turned her into a simpering tweener who falls over and cries all the time. I mean, what's the point? You're going to learn the hard way that people don't like your shit. That's not just Crystal Dynamics, that's the majority of gaming developers at the minute now. The only thing that I think I have figured out is with the new Tomb Raider, they've been pushing this thing for unified Lara. Now, looking at it, I'm not too sure that it's as bad as we all suspect, the unified Lara bit. The rest of the game's probably going to be a shit show. Lara's going to fall over. Lara's going to cry. Lara's going to seek truth and not steal artifacts. And in fact, if I remember rightly, they're actually putting non-lethal kills in the game. Well, non-lethal takedowns, so we knock people out. Chicken them, get them in a sleeper. Do you know what I mean? So, no more mass murdering people in some random backwards jungle that no one's apparently seen right under their nose for the past hundreds of years. But I think with the unified Lara thing, after looking into it a bit, I think that's more of a design slogan that's been thrown out, that they're planning on unifying the OG Lara, what all of us older gamers remember from like Tomb Raider 1, 2 and 3, and everything after that was mid to shit show. But I think that's what that is. I think that's a design, a slogan that's been thrown out by the design team. So they're going to sort of blend the OG Lara we remember from back in the day and the newer Lara from the Survivor series, what I'm currently playing on Tomb Raider Tuesdays. I think that's what that little slogan's been thrown out for. I could be wrong. It could be the whole woke nonsense bullshit. I don't know. But after looking into it, I just think that might be what it is. It sounds like a slogan that a designs team would throw out. Do you know what I mean? Because they're all arty-farty anyway, aren't they? So they like slogans and shit. Apparently, from the look of it, Lara's gay now, which I don't really care. Do you know what I mean? I care, but I'd rather not have love interests in games. It just detracts from the main story 99.9% of the time. It didn't detract in Uncharted when Drake met Ellie, I think her name is. I can't remember. I genuinely can't remember. It sort of flowed with the story, but then was a little bit too much, and then was, do you know what I mean? It had its peaks and troughs. It didn't affect the story. Then it was a little bit too much, and then it was just the sound again. But with the way things are now, I just think it's gonna detract from the story. Whether it's a man or a woman, Lara ends up knocking boots with, you know what I mean? It doesn't really matter. But obviously it's going to be gay, because that's the way the world's going now, innit? You know what I mean? What is it he said in South Park? Make them black and make them black and make them gay. Do you know what I mean? He got it right as well. And they have completely changed. I think I've already said that. They've completely changed Lara's backstory, and they're completely changing the way she does things. Like I said, she's no longer a Tomb Raider, she's a truth seeker. I have to say that in a funny voice because it just sounds fucking stupid. Do you know what I mean? You're going to make a game about the Tomb Raider we all know. At least let us raid tombs. Don't make us a fucking truth seeker. We want to play as Lara Croft, not Meghan fucking Markle. It's as simple as that. But they've changed it all now because they want to move away from Lara's colonial ambitions. She's not colonial ambitions, she's a fucking sociopath who goes in tomb raids and steals ancient relics that have mystical powers and shit that can make zombies. Because she can. Because she wants to. Not because she wants to seek the truth and give the artifacts back to who they were stolen from. Who do you give it back to? Do you give it back to the last person who had it, or the person they stole it off, or the person they stole it off? Do you know what I mean? That's why the British museums are full of artifacts from all over the world, because we just went over there and fucking nicked them. Or in some cases we were actually gifted them, or we paid for them. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, but that's the shit show that is Tomb Raider now. The Netflix trailer looks absolutely abysmal, and I watched like maybe 5 minutes of the Amazon one. Nah, not for me. Absolutely not for me. And going back to Ubisoft, Star Wars Outlaws, right? How is it a 10, 11-year-old game that is Black Flags looks better? The faces on the people in Black Flags look exactly the same, sometimes even better than the faces in Star Wars. What's it called again? Outlaws, yeah. Do you know what I mean? And it is possibly the biggest insult to Star Wars since the last reboots, the Skywalker saga, whatever you want to call it. Whatever it's called, I mean, not whatever you want to call it. Right, and now for me notes, all I have got is politics and gaming. Everyone's gay. White man bad. All women fuck ugly. And it is that every single word of that is spot on. Everyone's gay or trans in games now, whether you like it or not. The white man is bad. Masculinity is bad. You know what I mean? All men have to be feminists now, apparently. Bit weird. And they have been making women in games ugly. And at the bottom of the page, I've just wrote, go on a full-blown fucking rant. They have, for the past, I'd say, 8 to 10 years, they've just been making women uglier and uglier in games. You look at Marvel Spider-Man, MJ in the first one, and then look at MJ in Marvel Spider-Man 2, and there is a vast difference. Do you know what I mean? A vast difference. Massive. You know what I mean? You could fit the space between Earth and the Moon in the difference. It's that big. And that was because they used one of the... I can't remember who she was now. I said something in my last rant video. It was one of the writers or producers or something. And and MJ's supposed to be a model and a journalist. And they've picked the most plain Jane person on the devs team and thought, yeah, do you know what? You're just about fucking ugly enough, we'll use you. Because MJ can't be pretty, Spider-Man can't be masculine. Do you know what I mean? So we're going to use you because you're fugly, and we're going to make Peter Parker a feminist. And we're going to give him a sidekick in Miles Morales, who's stronger than him, and who will replace him. Why? Because he's black. Not because he's a better Spider-Man. I kind of like Miles' story, but I don't know, Peter Parker just will always be Spider-Man. It's as simple as that. Where else can we go? I think I've pretty much covered all of the shit show that we've had over the past couple of months. There is a few games I've got coming up that I want to play. Like I said, Space Marine 2, that's my next one that I want to play. I just haven't got around to it yet. I just won't get it, but I still wouldn't play it because I want to finish Red Dead Redemption 2 again. And I want to finish the Survivor series. And then I've got Legacy or Legend, what is it? Legacy, the remake one. I've got that to go through. I can't start a game and not finish it unless it's an absolute shit show like Star Wars Outlaws. Right, so let me just check something. Where am I? There I am. Yeah, I think I've pretty much covered everything that's been doing my nut in for the past, well, quite a while regarding video games. Let me know if there's anything I've missed out. There probably is, because I just refuse to go down that rabbit hole of all the shit games. I only cover the ones that I was looking forward to and I've played and have turned out to be a mess, or the ones that I've just played because I've had to play. Like with Mirage, I just had to play it because it was an Assassin's Creed game. I don't particularly think Shadows is going to sell well. It may do in the West because, well, let's face it, there's a lot of liberals who play video games. There's also a lot of liberals who don't play video games who are the ones calling us ists and phobes and all the other buzzwords. It might sell slightly better in Europe than it does in, say, Japan. But I don't think it's going to sell particularly well. I think it will maybe just beat out Assassin's Creed Mirage, and that sold poorly. And you know my opinions on that. That was a shit show, it was a clusterfuck, it was a waste of time, and it should have been left as a 10-hour DLC for Valhalla. But that's how bad I think it's going to be. I think even though it probably will sell better in the West than it will in like the Asian market, I think it's probably only just going to beat out Mirage. And like I said, I would not wish any gaming company go bust. I wouldn't. But at the same time, like I said, if it's going to happen, I want it to happen to one of the big ones. Do you know what I mean? Because then all of the smaller big companies and all the big companies will think, oh shit, that could be us next. Do you know what I mean? I just think if it's going to happen, sadly, it's going to have to happen to one of the big ones for anything to change. Like I said, I think this Shadows isn't going to sell well. Whether they change things up for when Hex comes out, or Hexe, however you pronounce it, that'll depend on how well that sells as well. But let's not forget what else is coming from Ubisoft, and that is Assassin's Creed Infinity, where all the Assassin's Creed content is there. You have to pay a monthly subscription for it, and you don't ever have to buy a game. And that's the whole point of it. They want you to get used to having subscription services. Do you know what I mean? Video games aren't like your Netflix and your Amazon. Do you know what I mean? Because there's always something good on one of them. Me personally, I've been watching older TV shows because all the newer ones are that shit. The only new show that's coming out that I'm actually looking forward to is Squid Game Season 2. And yeah, go on, you can laugh at me. Camp Cretaceous Chaos Theory Season 2. Yeah, I'll watch that. I love it. Other than that, I've been watching shows that I used to watch years ago. I've just started watching Bones again. Lucifer is the only real recent show that didn't go full tilt that way. Supernatural, all that shit. I've just been watching old shows because nothing new is any good, and it's pretty much the same with games at the minute. And like I said, I will obviously have to play Assassin's Creed Shadows because, well, the channel is mainly Assassin's Creed, so. But we all know the script with that. I will not be paying full price for it if I'm paying for it at all. But that's just me. and that's not because it's coming from Ubisoft. I would never take a game for free off them, because they would expect me to lie, just like they are doing. I have no idea why I'm just running around in the snow as Arthur Morgan at the minute. I haven't got a clue. Let's see what happens if you shoot the snow. Oh, I thought the bullet holes disappeared when you shot your next one. Yeah, so that's it. That's it for this live stream. I will do another one next month. Probably not another rant, because there's not going to be much shit showing that happens between now and then, is there? Obviously, that couldn't happen. There couldn't be loads more controversy in games within a month. Obviously. Anyway, that's me. I'll catch you in a bit. I've been CJ. This is CJ Games. See you in the next one.